Hello and good morning. So for today's lab activity, we will do a command web application demo. So in this web application, we will have two parts. That is the server part and then the client part. So in the client part, of course, we will build a mobile application just like this. So when you click send, so you can type your own command, and then when you click send, so it will print out command posted, and then when you refresh the web application, so it will list down the command together with the command ID, the emails, and the command. So you can use this for communicating between your mobile application and your web application. So you can use this as an example or base for your project. So and then I'm going to show you another example. So here we can type another name. Okay, another name. Okay, just like this. Okay, let's say that this is new person. All right, and then just say that you are creating a website or an application that could receive comments from the user or receive rating from the user. You can also add ratings over here like 5-star, 4-star, 3-star. Okay, just like that, and then you can allow people to type in their comments. So you can type this, your is easy to use and I am excited to recommend the application to my friends. Okay, so you can click send, comment posted, and then when you refresh this, you will get the comment right from the web application. So you can see that this application consists of two parts. One, it is the client side. That is, the client side is from a mobile application. And secondly is the server side. So the server side runs on any programming languages. But for this example, I've written a template for you that runs on PHP. So if you look closely on the source code, which you can download from this URL, so this source code contains all the bare minimum inner workings that allow you to have a commands website for your mobile web application. So let's look into the source code. So I'm opening the source code for this web application. So it consists of API, and then the database comments.sql, and then the database connection, and then JSON for converting the comments to JSON, and then the view. Right, let's look into the source code one by one. So we have an API. So the API is the file that allows the comment to be posted and then recorded on the database. So inside the API, you have require once the database. So the database is just the boilerplate for connecting to the database. So the database name is comments, the server is localhost, and the username root, and the password is empty. And then if you have done your web application classes, then you understand that this database accept, this web application would accept posts. So we have the parameter from name and comment, right? And then it check for either name and comment is complete or not, and then it check whether the name and comment have is empty or not. So if it's empty, it will throw down error, please fill in the form. And then we have a filter, okay, to filter the name, email, and comment. And then finally, it will insert into the comment table. So basically what we do is just a normal web application or normal web form that accept the parameter from the internet using posts. So if you have already familiar with your web application class, so you would have been familiar with form processing, which uses get and post. And then get and post have parameters. So this is the parameter that we are trying to create. That is a parameter for name, parameter for command, and then parameter for email. Then we insert it into the database, and then we execute the MySQL query. And then it will output an error if there is an error. If there is no error, then it will output command posted. So it is as simple as that. And then I've created a view.php file just for sake of the completeness. This is not required, but for the sake of completeness for debugging, I created a view.php to demonstrate to you that this is just a normal PHP file to display the content of the comments database and comments table. So you only have to use select star from command. Okay, this is the SQL query. And then you just have to order by date descending. So it will only display the latest comments in descending order by the date. Right? This is just the loop to display the comments. So all I use here is just HTML5. Okay, .type HTML5. So if you view here, this is the output of the command, right? Okay, output of the script. So if you look here, this is just a view.php. Okay, right. Let's look into the JSON file. So this is the JSON file. So if you're familiar with the previous video, so this may look the same to you. So in previous video, we have downloaded a places map marker, right? Map marker using JSON, right? Using JSON. So this might have been familiar to you. So we only have to select all the rows from the command, and then we order it by date in descending order. And then we output it into JSON. So when you look back in the command, and then when you enter the JSON.php, and then you will see that all the commands are being outputted in JSON format. So this is completely optional. Okay, I just included this because I want you to get yourself familiarized with JSON format. If you are doing your project that involve machine-to-machine communication, like if you are using IoT, or if you are planning to use or to read the database from your MySQL database, right? When you are planning to read the database from mobile application from your MySQL database. So let's look into the MySQL database. I've already also included it inside your downloads. So if you refer back to the URL that I've given to you to download the source code, so you will be provided with the comments.sql file. So this is the content of the command.sql file. So this is used to store the command. So this is very simple. We have the ID, the primary key, and then the name, the emails, the IP address, the date, the user agents, and then of course the comments. So this is the data type. So this is probably useful for you if you want to create your own server-side and client-side application that preuses the communication between website or the server side or web application to your mobile application. So in previous demonstration, I've already shown you how the mobile application can download information from the server and then display it on your mobile application. So I've created two different applications, two different videos. First, it is the Bitcoin API video. And secondly is on Google Map, okay? Google Map video, okay? On the Google Map video where you can download the map marker from your MySQL database and then display it on your Android application Google Map. So you will see that the marker is in the green color, okay? In the green color. So so here is just an expansion. What we are going to do is to send, okay, is the reverse. We want to send the data from the mobile application as the client and push it to the database on the MySQL part. So this is what we are trying to do. Okay, let's start with our application. So make sure that you downloaded all the source code that I've already provided in the Google Drive and the URL that I've specified in the video. So the name of the application is Comment Poster. So let's start coding the application. Alright, so what we have here is the interface that I've already created. So let's jump to the source code, right? And then the preparation for creating the application to communicate with the server. So first and foremost, we need the volley library to communicate with the server. So there are two types of popular library, or three types if you count the Apache HTTP library. Okay, but the two types that are most popular library that we use to communicate with the server-side application or HTTP RESTful web service is Retrofit and Volley. But we will look into Volley because Volley is the official library from Android developers. So this is the official library that came from the Google team themselves. So we look into Volley, okay, Volley library, and then we include the Volley library inside our applications. So to include it, we have to go to Gradle. So Gradle, go into the module application. Okay, under here we have implementation. Okay, and write Volley. And then press sync now. And then of course we have to go to the Android manifest. So under Android manifest, we have to enable clear text communication. Okay, allow clear users clear text traffics, and then you put here as true. And then you have to put here users permission. Okay, Android dot permission access network state. Okay, it is all auto. What we call it as auto complete, and then go over here, put Android permission dot internet. Right, once you've done that, okay, you go back to here at the activity main and take a look at the UI element that I've created. So you see this is name. Okay, et name means edit text name, and then edit text email, and then edit text comment, and then of course the button submit. So we go over here to the main activity, and then we include all the edit text. So to include here, we just have to type edit text, et name, et email, and then et comments. And then of course there's a button. The button is optional to be included here. And then you put here as et name, find view by id, r.id.et name. And then of course do not forget to cast them. Okay, this is called casting. So we can type in et email. This one is et comments. So here we have et comments. And then of course you need to connect the button. So you can connect the button over here. Button import class equals to button, find view by id, r.id. Button submit. And then link the button submit to set on click listener. So you can type here new view on click listener like this. The view on click. So what happened here is that we want the button. When you click the button, your application will send the data to the server. So when you click the button will read the data entered on edit text name, edit text email, and edit text comment. It will send the data using HTTP post or respond post to the server side, and the server side will record the comment. Okay, as simple as that. So what you need to do is here to include the volley. Okay, volley call. So to include the volley call, you need to have the HTTP response code or queue. So to include the response queue, you only have to type here request queue, okay, for the volley, and then type here queue, okay, queue, request queue. Right, I'm going to make this compact, and then here you can create a new method, make request, and then below here, okay, inside the class level method, you create a request public void make request. Okay, this is similar to the previous video where you make request to the server to retrieve a group of map markers from the server to display it on your Google Map. Right? Okay. So inside make request, you have to create a string request. So string request over here, string request. Okay, new string request. So the string request would be request method. So because our API uses post, so we will create a method request post. So you must tally with the API over here. If your API using get, then you use this as get. But if your API is post, you have to use this as post. Okay, using post. And then put here the URL. Okay, the URL. And then you put a new response listener. Okay, you put here the response listener. So the response listener should be string. And then when it is read like this, you have to create alternate click it to implement the method. Okay, implement method. So it become on response method. So for the URL over here, you can create a URL or type in a URL variable. So should be static. Oh, sorry, should be final. Okay, final string URL. So the URL should be your URL to your server. So if you're using using 00 web host or free web host, you can enter the HTTP of your web hosting URL. But if you are using a local host or your own XAMPP testing server, you should take a look on your networking address. So this is how you go to the networking address. You have to type in networking, okay, like this, networking, and then you go to the screen and then click on get adapter option, and then click on the network that you are connecting. If you're Wi-Fi, then go to the Wi-Fi and then click details. So you get your IP address here as 192.168.0.128. So your mileage may vary. It depends on your own computer. But for me, this is the URL, right? So this is the URL, comments api.php. So this is final string. All right, and then let's continue. So we continue by putting a comma over here and then put here error listener and then close it. Okay, like this. Okay, so the error listener is red because we haven't implemented yet. And then go down here Okay, sorry, just like this, and then you put your new error list response.error listener. Okay, like this. And then here, closing, you put here the semicolon. So what you have here is volley error. And then you put your toast.make text, get application context, comma. So remember back how you do toast, and then you put here error dot get message, and then comma toast dot long, because we want to display the error message as long, and then show. Okay, just like this. So please look at the data over here. Sorry, please look at the code over here. Okay, just like this. All right, for the on response, so what we have here, because we want to send the data, so ensure that you can create the map. Right, remember that we put here the semicolon. So, okay, open the semicolon like this. Okay, okay, delete the semicolon and open it with the braces like this. And then put the semicolon again like this one. Okay, I give you time to read the source code. Right, then you type here override. Okay, type here protected map. Okay, string. Maybe we are creating a hash map. Get parameter. Okay, so it becomes something like this. And then for the map, you just press alternate tab. Right, and then you return, you must return something. So you type here string and then string. Type here params. Okay, new hash map. Okay, like this. Okay, and then return parameter. Okay, so it won't be red anymore. And then type here param.put. And then, so here you have key and then the value. So you should have a key and then value. So key here must be tally with your API over here. So if your key here is name, okay, if your parameter here is name, and then the key here must also be name. Okay, the key here must also be name. Right, if the parameter here is email, so the key here must also be email. So try put here like this, name, params, put email. So we have value, and then params dot put comments. So here it should be the value. All right. Okay. So where do you get the value of the name? So you get the value of the name from ET name over here, right? ET name over here, and then ET email and ET comment. So that is what we want to do, is just to get the value from ET name dot get text dot to string, and then we want to get the value ET email dot get text dot to string, and then ET comments dot get text dot to string. So looks like we are finished. So we try to run this application. Okay, let's see if there is an error or we crash. So what happens if we click submit over here? Oh, sorry. So the submit does not do anything because we haven't linked the button yet. So why the button doesn't work? Because we haven't add the queue. So how to add the queue? Okay, you go back over here, just under the set content view, you just have to add a queue equal volley dot new request queue get application context, and then you put here like this. It's a queue, right? Okay, this is important. And then look at the string request over here. So this is the string request, right? So you go over here up until the semicolon, and then under here you type your queue dot add string request. So string request. Okay, so you add here string request over here, and then we replay back the application and try to click submit. Right. So what we have here is the error. Okay, socket exception, socket fail. So it is said that if you ever encounter this problem, you need to either add the access network state and internet from your to your Android manifest, and then you have to uninstall your application. So we try to uninstall the application. Okay, add info, and then try to uninstall the application, and then installing it back again. Then try to type anything. Okay, frame buffer. Then try to click submit. And then let's see if the comment are being included. Right. So thus the comment are being included over here. So here, okay, we have frame buffer root something, right? So therefore this is the example of how you can create an application that communicate with the server side. So you can create a mobile application that communicate with server side. So when you press submit, it will display the comment. So what missing here is only the feedback. Bila kita tekan submit ni, dia tak ada feedback. So how to create the feedback? So simple. So go over here back to the main activity. Okay, what you need to do is just to create a feedback under this response. So feedback, you can put it under toast, and then you can put here get application context, and then response. Okay, you can put here the response. Okay, as the string. Okay, display the response over here, and then finally the toast. Okay, the toast whether it's going to be short or long, and then that show the toast. So when you replay back the application, okay, okay, time being here using this application. So and then when you click submit, right, you will get the feedback comment posted. So you can view in this comment, okay, the comment posted Ahmad Nazir. So when you want to view more details, you can go to the database and then browse the structure on Ahmad Nazir. Okay, so here you can see the IP address from where he is posted, and then of course the user agent. So he is posted from his phone. Okay, Dalvik 2.1.0, Android 10, Android SDK. Okay, this is my second time being here using this application. So we can see the full comment here. Alright, that's all for our lab session for today. Hopefully this is not the final time you get this lab. Hopefully you find this lab very useful to you in creating an application that communicate between mobile application to the server. And this is only an example, okay, a small example of what you can do with just using PHP, MySQL, and then communicate it with your mobile application. And then I've also provided with you the sample source code. And then if you have already familiar with mobile application programming, and if you have already followed the previous lab on mobile application programming, then I believe you do not have any trouble or problem in creating a client-server application involving a mobile application that communicate with server-side web application. So in the server-side web application, I will not touch in detail because you may have already learned it in your web application development class. So you may have already familiar with using PHP and then performing HTTP GET and POST, and then inserting data inside your MySQL database, and then importing and exporting and so on. So hopefully this will be useful for you. So I'm going to end this lab session. So best of luck to all of you. Hopefully you can create your project, FYP or final year project using this knowledge. And then if you are using this code as your base, it is greatly appreciated if you can cite your or create your citation and point it back to this video and the source code so that others may benefit from this knowledge. So be seeing you in the next video.